What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, with another edition of Where, Pick, and Dare, where I pick games for the various games that are occurring tomorrow. Whether it's football, baseball, basketball, basically whatever games I want to pick, I will pick them. With all that being said, on with the video. NBA. Cleveland Cavaliers versus Detroit Pistons. Game 5. This is part of the second round of the NBA playoffs. The Cavs have a 29.4% chance to win. The Pistons have a 7.6% chance to win. This is at Detroit. This series is tied 2-2. For injuries, for the Pistons, Hewitter is a game time decision. For stats, the Cavs have more points per game. Pistons have a higher field goal percentage, more rebounds per game. Cavs have more assists per game. Pistons have more blocks per game and steals per game. These stats are pretty close, so I think home field advantage is going to be a big thing here. So I think the Pistons will beat the Cavaliers tomorrow to go up 3-2 in the series. MLB. Chicago Cubs versus Atlanta Braves. The Cubs have a 47.1% chance to win. The Braves have a 52.9% chance to win. This game is at Atlanta. For starting pitchers, for the Cubs, Shota Imanaga has a career ERA of 3.15 and a WHIP of 1. And for the Braves, J.R. Ritchie has a career ERA of 3.63 with a 1.5. Now, he's only pitched in 17 and one third innings in his career, while Imanaga has pitched in 365 and a third. So there's a definite experience advantage for Imanaga. Now, both of their stats are pretty good, so you know if Richie's able to keep up the quality play, he like it won't really be an advantage for either team. So for because it's a good pitcher for both teams. So for injuries, for the Cubs, Jackson Wiggins is on 7-day IL. Uh, Jordan Wicks and Caleb Thielbar are on 15-day IL. Well, Matthew Boyd's on 15-day IL, and Jeff Brigham's on 60-day IL. For the Braves, Dylan Dodd's on 15-day IL. Ronald Acuña Jr. and Sean Murphy are on 10-day IL. And Blake Burkhalter and Eli White are on 7-day IL. For stats, the Braves have a higher batting average, more runs, hits, home runs. Cubs have a higher on base percentage. Braves have a higher slugging percentage. Cubs have a higher ERA, more walks plus hits per innings pitched. Braves have more walks, strikeouts. Cubs have a higher opponent batting average. So with all this, based on the stats, pitching advantage kind of offsets, well, the Braves have 13 more walks, but they also have 22 more strikeouts. So as far as pitching goes, a lot of that offsets it for batting. I mean, Braves have 13 more runs, 32 more hits. I mean, so that points to a batting advantage for the Braves, which that will help a lot. So, with the way starting pitching is working out, I think a lot of it will down to the batting advantage and home field advantage. So I think the Braves will beat the Cubs tomorrow. San Diego Padres versus Milwaukee Brewers. The Padres have a 36.9% chance to win. The Brewers have a 63.1% chance to win. This game is at Milwaukee. For starting pitchers, for the Padres, Michael Keane has a career ERA of 3.2 with a 1.18. And for the Brewers, Jacob Zierowski has a career ERA of 3.6 and a WHIP of 1.13. So that's good pitching for both teams. Not really seeing a difference here. So the for the injuries, for the Padres, Jake Cronenworth and Blake Hunt are on 7-day IL. German Marquez is on 15-day IL. Joni Brito is on 60-day IL, and Luis Capusano is on 10-day IL. For the Brewers, JVB Bukaskas is on 7-day IL. Brandon Woodruff and Jared Koenig are on 15-day IL. Brandon Lockridge is on 10-day IL, and Rob Zestrizny is on 60-day IL. For stats, the Brewers have a higher batting average, have more runs, hits. Padres have more home runs. Brewers have a higher on base percentage. Padres have a higher slugging percentage and have a higher ERA. Brewers have more walks plus hits per innings pitched and more walks and strikeouts. And Padres have a higher opponent batting average. So with these stats, so pitching, I would say offsets itself out with Brewers have 10 more walks, but they also have 16 more strikeouts. And for batting, Brewers have like 25 more runs, 13 more hits. Then the Padres have 13 more home runs, so it kind of can offset. I would say it can offset a little there. So yeah, with that, I think home field advantage will then be the big thing here. So I think the Brewers will beat the Padres tomorrow. St. Louis Cardinals versus Athletics. So the Cards have a 47.4% chance to win. The A's have a 52.6% chance to win. This game is at Sacramento. For starting pitchers, for the Cards, Matthew Liberatore has a career ERA of 4.57 with a 1.38, and for the A's, JT Ginn has a career ERA of 4.56 with a 1.3. So that's not really good pitching for either team. Not really significant difference here. Yeah. So for injuries, for the Cards, Matt Pushard's on 15-day IL. Ramon Urias is on 10-day IL, and Lars Nootbaar, Ikeson Henderson, and Victor Santos are on 60-day IL for the A's. Jacob Wilson's day-to-day. Max Muncy and Denzel Clark are on 10-day IL, and Gunnar Hoglund's on 60-day IL. For stats, the A's have a higher batting average. The Cards have more runs. A's have more hits. Cards have more home runs. Um, let's see. A's have a higher on base percentage, slugging percentage, ERA, more walks plus hits per innings pitched, more walks, strikeouts, opponent batting averages even. So for pitching, all is offset. So like the A's have 23 more walks, but they also have 30 more strikeouts. And for batting, basically that offsets as well. So the Cards have 10 more runs, but the A's have 25 more hits. So I would say a lot of that offsets. So yeah, I think with this, I think home field advantage will then be the big thing here. So I think the Athletics will beat the Cardinals tomorrow. And that's it for picks. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my picks. Do you agree with them? Do you not? If you have different picks, you can put them in the comments. But other than that, please like, subscribe, and all that. Thank you for listening, and look forward to the next video.